We're just going to start the evening with the adhan from the Cave of the Seven Sleepers, for the Imam from the Cave of the Seven Sleepers. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good evening. How are you guys doing? Jazakallah. Thank you very much for coming down. I know it's busy periods with Hajj and weddings, and I know a lot of people have asked you guys to miss your weddings as well, so Jazakallah for making the effort. So today I'm going to talk about the virtues and history of Masjid Al-Aqsa. Now I'm going to do this talk slightly a bit unconventional. I'm not going to do the usual method of lecturing you guys, boring you guys. I'm going to take this angle and I'm going to make sure you guys kind of reflect on this particular area, because as you can see from today, when I did a talk with George Galloway, a lot of people came. When it comes to the Masjid Al-Aqsa, it's unfortunate that people's interest isn't there. So I'm going to share some ideas with you. Now you don't have to agree with all the ideas. If any ideas work for you guys, I say use it. If there's any ideas that you disagree with, discard it. There was a quote said by Benjamin Franklin, and he said, "An investment in knowledge pays the best returns." So what does that mean? An investment in knowledge pays the best returns. It means the most valuable commodity in life is information. Now, I believe there's three types of people in this world. You've got the winners in life who know their purpose in life. They go for their purpose. They know their limits and strengths, and they achieve what they want to achieve. Then you've got the losers who don't know their purpose in life. They don't know where to go, and unfortunately, wherever the circumstances, they accept this and they believe they cannot change this. Then I believe there's a third type of people, and I believe a lot of people here fall into this particular category. Now these are winners, but they may not have all the keys to unlock their full potential. They may know what they want to achieve, but they either get distracted, or they may lack a little bit of information and knowledge for them to achieve this full potential. Now how do you know if you fall in this particular category? Now you may get along with life, but something inside you something inside you tells you that I could be doing a lot more. You're getting along with life. People may think that you're successful. You may have some high-earning jobs, but deep down your soul, there's something missing. Now, myself, this is where the name comes from, my charity name, The Purpose of Life. Now, I set this charity up in 2014. I'll be perfectly honest with you, and my brother's here, and he'll probably vouch for it, but when I started the charity, I'm a chemical engineer by profession. I actually gave up a £2 million contract of a 10% commission, which I would have earned £200,000 to start my charity and put most of my time in this charity. Now, a lot of people said to me, a lot of people close to me said, Saj, what are you doing? Are you crazy? Why are you leaving a successful job to start something where you're not even getting a salary from? What's going on? What's going on? So even myself, I did this because as much as I was earning, I was earning a good salary, I had the dunya, I felt something was missing in my heart. I felt like I wasn't achieving the full potential of what I could achieve. I felt like I could do a lot more. I felt like I was here for a different purpose. So I did istikhara. I must admit, there were a few people that convinced me, and I thought, you know what, maybe I'm just being a little bit drastic. So I did istikhara. I asked Allah Ta'ala, I did istikhara in the night, and I asked Allah Ta'ala, oh Allah Ta'ala, guide me. Should I open this charity? I know it's a lot of work. I don't know anything about the charity world. I'm a chemical engineer, that's my profession. Allah Ta'ala, should I open this charity? Guide me. And the following morning, 9 o'clock, now where's Hanslow Solicitors? Where are you guys? Yahya rang me in the morning. I discussed my idea with Yahya, as a close friend of mine, 2 weeks before. I don't know if you remember the name. And Yahya, we stopped the discussion. We went for a curry. And Yahya rang me in the morning and he said, Saj, you remember that idea that you had about the charity? He goes, I want to donate £500, not to the donation, but to set up your charity. I think you should set up your charity. Now, I'll be honest with you, I started crying. It was a very emotional time for me, and I'm getting emotional right now. But for me, I felt like, you know what, this is the way I want to go. I've asked Allah Ta'ala for guidance. This is my purpose in life. I feel I can achieve a lot more doing what I'm doing. Now, sometimes we have to ask ourselves, what's using my life? What is using my life? Now, by that I mean, in the 24 hours that you spend in a particular day, how much of that 24 hours are you using to do something productive? Really, I mean, what is life? I mean, why are we here? Do we ever reflect? I think, if I could ask you guys now, what is the purpose of life? When I have asked people usually say to me, some people, my non-Muslim friends sometimes say to me, we only live once, YOLO. This is a garden or a paradise for me, let me enjoy life. And then I ask some of the brothers and they say, well, this is a test for me, this is an exam paper. My purpose is to know Allah Ta'ala, to worship Allah Ta'ala. Some people say, well, I want to be successful in my careers, which is mashallah, beautiful reasons. But the true purpose is, like the second brother said, is we need to know Allah Ta'ala, to worship Allah Ta'ala. As much as we invest here, we need to invest just as much, if not more, for the next world. Because for me, an example for dunya, for me, is like, and I've been traveling for 10 years now, it's like checking into a hotel. Now, if I've checked in a hotel for 4 or 5 days, I'm not going to be decorating my hotel. I'm not going to be spending loads of money doing an extension. I'm going to be spending my money and my time investing on my permanent address, which is my home. So the information I'm about to reveal to you about Al-Aqsa, now you're probably thinking, why have I mentioned this? But the information I'm going to reveal to you about Al-Aqsa is going to be some of the most powerful bits of information you're going to hear, the most powerful. Now, in terms of the history of Masjid Al-Aqsa, before I mention the history, I want to mention something that a lot of people get confused. Maulana Habili is a lot more qualified than I am to discuss this, but a lot of people say to me when they see the Dome of the Rock, which is the Golden Dome Masjid, and it says Masjid Al-Aqsa, people have even said to me, they said, this is not Masjid Al-Aqsa, this is the Dome of the Rock, this is separate. As you can see from the drawing, the whole compound is Masjid Al-Aqsa. It's not the buildings that is Masjid Al-Aqsa, it's actually the land that's holy. That includes the Qibli Masjid with the grey dome, which is also referred to Masjid Al-Aqsa, but Masjid Al-Aqsa actually includes the Dome of the Rock, the Marwani Masjid, which is next door to the Qibli Masjid, the Buraq Masjid in the corner, and all the monuments. Masjid Al-Aqsa is the whole 35 acres. And I believe this is very important because a lot of Muslims get this confused. So in terms of the history, Masjid Al-Aqsa is the second oldest masjid built on earth. It was built 40 years after Kaaba Sharif, and some people say it was actually built by Adam alayhi salam, or some actually other people believe it's built by the angels, Allah alam, but it's 40 years, it's the second oldest masjid built 40 years after the Qibli Masjid, the Kaaba Sharif. Many prophets have lived here, have been born here, have been buried here. Ibrahim Islam is buried in Hebron. He spent most of his life in Palestine. So did Solomon alayhi salam. His throne was here, his kingdom was here. Maryam Islam and Isa alayhi salam were here. Many prophets were here. Zachariah alayhi salam. So this is the land of the prophets. This is the only land where 124,000 prophets have congregated together and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam led the prayer. This is the only place in the world, not Makkah, not Medina. This is Masjid Al-Aqsa. And I should also mention the first Qibla for Muslims was Masjid Al-Aqsa, as you know. The station of Al-Isra wal Miraj was from Makkah, and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam went on a Buraq animal to Masjid Al-Aqsa. He went to the heavens from Masjid Al-Aqsa. So as you can see, the history, I've just mentioned a few points. I could be here all day mentioning the significance and the history, but I just want to mention some key points. In terms of the virtues, now Al-Aqsa, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself mentions Al-Aqsa as a blessed place. It is mentioned around about 70 times in the Holy Quran. It's mentioned directly in the Quran, Surah Al-Isra. And Masjid Al-Aqsa is one of the places where Allah's revelation was descended as well. Ibn Abbas added also that, and the prophets lived therein, there is not a single inch in Al-Quds, which is Jerusalem, where a prophet has not prayed or an angel has not stood. Now the next hadith, this is the one that really does it for me. Now Kabir, he joined us, mashallah. We do tours from Jordan, Palestine, Makkah and Medina. And I did this for this, but this is the hadith that really did it for me. This is the hadith why I wanted everyone to benefit from what I've benefited from. I wanted everyone to experience what I've done. For me, this is some of the most powerful information I believe you guys are going to listen to. And I'll even prove it to you afterwards. The hadith goes, Salama radiallahu anha relates that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if anyone puts on ihram for Hajj or Umrah from Masjid Al-Aqsa and then proceeds to the sacred Masjid, Kaaba, their past and future sins will be forgiven. Or they will enter Jannah, they will enter paradise. Now, when I was talking about investment and they say knowledge is power, when I've just given you a certain piece of information, certain hadiths, where you wear your ihram from Al-Aqsa and you go to the Kaaba Sharif to perform your Umrah or Hajj, not only is your past sins forgiven, but your future sins. Now, I'm going to share another hadith with you, just to give you in context what paradise is. Abdullah ibn Masud radiallahu anhu said, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, I know the last of the people of hell who will be brought forth from it. And the last of the people of paradise to enter it, it is a man who will come out of hell crawling on all fours. Allah will say to him, go and enter paradise. So he'll come to it and will suppose that it's full. He will go back and say, my Rabb, I found it full. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say, go and enter paradise, for they have something like the world 10 times over. Or you have something 10 times better than the world. So the minimum level of paradise you will achieve 10 times what this world contains. Now, when I mentioned Benjamin Franklin's quote, I don't think he realized even this piece of information I've given you. He was a founding fathers of America. Now, he was an inventor, he was a businessman, he was made in the world. But the piece of information I've just given you now, you guys can achieve paradise, which is 10 times this world and everything it contains. Now, I say to you, as winners, as searchers to become winners, you owe it to yourselves. Wallahi, you owe it to yourselves to make the effort to spend some time in Al-Aqsa, to do Umrah or Hajj from Al-Aqsa. Now we're in the season of Hajj, mashallah. I know many relatives have gone. I went with a brother, mashallah, we went last year. I went with my mother, and if you haven't been, please do. And I was blessed to take my mother as well. And I make dua that everyone who is going now, Allah Ta'ala accepts it and makes it easy for them, inshallah. Now I'm going to move on to the final hadith about Sham. Now Sham is Jerusalem, Palestine, it's Jordan, it's Syria and Lebanon. So hadith quote, Zayd ibn Thabit reports, the Prophet ﷺ said, how blessed is Al-Sham? The companions radiallahu anhu asked, why is that, O Messenger of Allah ﷺ? The Messenger ﷺ replied, I see the angels of Allah spreading their wings over Al-Sham. This is how blessed Al-Sham is. Now, we have a special message from the Imam of the cave. Unfortunately, we had some issues with the visa. He will be coming in the near future, but he made us a video specially for you guys. It was a private message which I want to play to you guys, because we've started a project in Sham, in Jordan. Now, we're starting a school. As you can see at the banner, it's a Deen and Dunya Educational Center. Now, some of you guys have already seen the promo video that we did. We've raised, alhamdulillah, £30,000 already, but we need to raise £250,000. So I'm just going to play the video.
Assalamu alaikum, my dear brothers and sisters. My name is Mu'tasim, and I am the Imam of Masjid Al-Kahf, and I am from the bloodline of the people from the cave. The story in Surah 18 in Quran. Sorry, I could not make it to England because of visa problem. However, inshallah, I am working on it and will come soon to see you. I am working together with the brother Sajjad Hussain from Purpose of Life Charity in the UK to raise £250,000 to open a school in Jordan near the cave, which we will both personally run and teach ourselves both Islamic and general education to give these children a chance to succeed and to prove for themselves and others. The school will be for Jordanian, Palestinian, Syrian and Iraq refugees, as we have millions who have no future dying in poverty. This is the only way to get people out of poverty. The money will be used for land and construction of a school near Masjid Al-Kahf in Amman for 300 refugees children, and also to help parents get jobs. MashaAllah, we have raised around £30,000 already, but we have lost more to raise to reach this target. Please support the case and donate to help us raise the amount required. Zakat can also be used. Thank you for your support. May Allah reward you all. Salam, and see you soon with brother Sajjad Hussain, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Now, alhamdulillah, we have been blessed. Now, you all know the story of Surah Al-Kahf, Surah 18. It's Friday today, mashallah. Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam recommended we actually read Surah Al-Kahf every Friday. So this is the Imam from the Cave of the Seven Sleepers, from the bloodline of these people. And we're not a big charity, but Allah Ta'ala has blessed us. We have worked together, we have provided food packs in Jordan. I mean, the case is very serious. I mean, we went in December. Kabir, he would vouch for this. It was below freezing. It was, babies were literally freezing to death. It was a case of, people were living in black bin liners. I mean, the most refugees in the world is in Jordan because of the Jordanian refugees, Syrian, Lebanese, and Palestinian. Now, mashallah, a lot of charities are doing some great work, including ourselves, but we need to provide a long-term solution. There's a famous saying, give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach him how to fish, he eats for life. Now, these are our brothers and sisters. These are our children. Now, I just read a hadith where Prophet Muhammad has mentioned how blessed the land is. There's angels protecting that land. And our Muslims, our dear brothers and, our brothers and sisters, the dear brothers, they're our blood. The blood, the relation of my brothers and sisters is one thing, but the relation of Islam is a lot stronger than blood. So these are our brothers and sisters. So I genuinely believe this is a worthwhile cause. Now I'm going to mention another quote mentioned by Robert Kiyosaki, who is another multimillionaire. I learned a lot from him. And one of his sayings is, he wrote a very famous book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I think I passed on to Jazz, he's laughing. And one of his famous quotes is, don't work for money, let the money work for you. The elite, how they become rich, how they make the money is, there's only so much your hands and feet can do. Unless, mashallah, if you're blessed like Moeen and Kabir they've got certain talents, they've got special talents, God-given talents. But honestly speaking, most of us don't have them talents. There's only so much we can do. If we're working, we're making money, but if you're resting, there's no money being generated. But the elite, they'll set up businesses that will be self-sufficient and they'll be running businesses. Whether they're in Hawaii enjoying themselves or whether they're working, that money is being generated. Now, where am I going with this? Sadaqah Jariyah. Now, you know what that is, don't you? That is ongoing charity. The deeds can work for you, but you can do certain deeds that will work for themselves. It's the same principle. Now, the ongoing charity Sadaqah Jariyah is ongoing charity received by us for good actions and deeds that will not only benefit us in this life, but will continue to benefit us after death. Now, Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu reported, Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when a man dies, his acts come to an end, but three, which is recurring charity of knowledge, of benefit from a pious son, or someone who prays for him. So it's either someone who prays for him, or a pious son, or recurring charity or knowledge. Now, through this school, can you imagine how much knowledge is going to be passed on? Deen and dunya education of the people of Sham, of people of blessed people. Now, this is a great investment. When I said to you, knowledge is power, the information I've given you now, this is your opportunity to become part of the elite in the next world. Where even after we are dead, now if Robert Kiyosaki died, his business is done, he's not going to benefit. But even if we are dead, the Sadaqah Jariyah is going to be reoccurring in our grave. Whether we're in hell, may Allah Ta'ala protect us, or whether we're in the lower cases of paradise, there'll be moments where we're going to be upgraded. And we're going to say, oh Allah Ta'ala, why are we upgraded for? They'll be like, remember that Sadaqah Jariyah that you paid into, that project that you worked into? That's what's topping your account, even after your demise. Now, we have this project, £250,000 we need to raise. We have raised £30,000. Now, I am asking you, these people don't need us, we need these people. Just like Al-Aqsa, we have this thought. I used to always think Al-Aqsa needs us. It's not that case. It's not the case. We need Al-Aqsa. There is no place in the world where I can go to perform my umrah, where I can not only get my past sins forgiven, but future sins forgiven. We need Al-Aqsa. And when I open this charity, it's not a case of I feel like I'm doing something special and helping people. These people have given me an opportunity to help myself. I am benefiting a lot more by helping these children. So when I turn on that contract of £2 million and my commission check of £200,000, that is insignificant compared to, inshallah, hopefully what I could raise. That's what's motivating. That's where the method of my madness is. And I want you guys to benefit and receive the same, inshallah. When you do business with Allah Ta'ala, He's not going to cheat you. And I genuinely believe when I did my istikhara, this is where I feel my soul feels that I'm achieving what I'm here to achieve, my purpose of life. Now, we want to start this project in a year's time. I've got 12 months. My target is to raise that money. So I'm asking you guys, I'm not even asking you guys to give me the money now. I'm asking you guys to make a pledge. You can pay it over 12 months. You can pay it whenever you like. And I'm not even asking you to pay this money from your own pockets. Just like myself, we've done certain cricket tournaments. MashaAllah, Kabir has been very supportive. May Allah Ta'ala reward him for his efforts and his family, inshallah. Say Ameen, guys, come on. Ameen. Now, I want you guys, mashallah, to benefit from this as well. You know, you guys, all you need to do is send us, where's Kamal? Kamal, raise your hands, Kamal. Mashallah, sorry, I'm going to put you on the spot here, but we went to Palestine in Ramadan. We spent the last 10 days. And sometimes, you know, we just need a little nudge. Like I said, mashallah, we are all winners, but we just need a little nudge, a little tweak. And we asked certain people, you know, all you need to do is just send a text message. Just send one text message. Kamal's laughing at me. He's gonna probably throw that camera at me now. But Kamal was like, no one knows a charity, and but other people are gonna donate. I said, look, leave it to Allah Ta'ala. Mashallah, you've got good contacts, you've got good family. Just send one text message. And he sent it in Palestine 2-3 days before. And wallahi, mashallah, just from one text message, what was it, Kamal? Almost £2,000 was raised for this project. Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't have that many friends. 30,000, maybe that's my limit. But if all you guys just make the effort, just to send one text message. Now, I can give you the videos, I can help you as much as I can, but you, mashallah, you're all popular people, you've got a lot of friends and family. All I'm asking you guys, not even to dig into your own pockets, just be a little bit inventive, give me a little bit of time. But when I've told you the knowledge that I've just given you now, you guys are not helping these poor people, you are actually helping yourselves. You will be benefiting a lot more. Wallahi, I will vouch for you on the Day of Judgment. You will be helping yourself a lot more than you are helping these people. Now I'm asking you guys, who's going to be the brave person who's going to invest in the next world? Who's going to pledge me £2,500? Now that's only a couple £100, that's only £200 a month. I'm asking some brave person to make the pledge, and you can pay that money whenever it suits, £2,500. Wallahi, mashallah, jazakallah. Was that one each or? Yeah. One each, mashallah. That's £5,000. May Allah Ta'ala reward you. Takbir! Come on, guys. Takbir! The brothers just, when somebody buys a nice car or buys a nice house, mashallah, we have a house party and we really celebrate the case. These brothers, may Allah Ta'ala reward them, are building palaces. Please, guys. Takbir! That's more like it. Who else is going to invest in the next world? Which guys? Come on, guys. Who else is going to invest? Sadaqah Jariyah, bro. This is where Robert Kiyosaki was talking about. Become the elite. I want you guys to benefit as much as I have benefited from the experiences. From my charity experiences, mashallah, I may have sacrificed £200,000. Now I've got a couple of chemical engineer colleagues with me. Mashallah, it's a lucrative business. You can make a lot of money. But for me, that minor loss for inshallah the gain, because of the contract that I lost, I gave away, I've had the opportunity to perform Umrah from Al-Aqsa twice. Once with Kabir Bhai. Now Kabir Bhai, you can ask him on stage, you can give his own opinion. I'm not going to speak for Kabir Bhai. But for me, that experience where I feel like I've achieved a golden ticket to get my past and future sins forgiven, because I have a lot of sins. I'll be the first one to admit that. I need that golden ticket. I want you guys to benefit, and I'm working on this project because I feel like I'm going to be seeing Allah Ta'ala one day, on the Day of Judgment. When that day is going to be 50,000 years long, the sun's going to be a mile away. There's going to be people drowning in their own sweat. You've read the hadiths, I don't need to tell you. Some people are going to be drowning in their ankles, some in the knees, with their own sweat. Some to the waist, some above their heads. But there's going to be the elite who are going to be protected by the shade of the throne of Allah Ta'ala. I want to become that person, and I want you guys, inshallah, to join us. Now, are there a couple more brothers and sisters who are willing to pledge me a couple £100 a month, £2,500. Is anybody, inshallah? MashaAllah, we've got one in the back, Jazakallah. Takbir! Jazakallah. Okay, I'm gonna drop it down a little bit. £1,000. That's 80 quid and change. Who's gonna invest in the next world and pledge me £80 a month for the next 12 months? Is there anyone? Inshallah, Jazakallah, two of us, mashallah. Takbir! Allahu Akbar. Who else is going to pledge me £80 a month? Jazakallah. Takbir! Alhamdulillah. Anybody else? Jazakallah Ijaz. Thank you very much. Takbir! Allahu Akbar. Another one. Jazakallah. Who else is going to pledge me £80 a month? Look at the rewards. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, and spend something in charity out of the provision which we have bestowed you, before death should come to any of you, and you should say, "O my Rabb, why do you not give me respite for a little while? I should then have given largely in charity, and I should have been one of the doers of good." Now I know, even with the work that I'm doing, I know it's only a little bit of what I could do. I'm going to be one of them people who are going to say to Allah Ta'ala, please give me one more day so I can spend the couple of properties I've invested in. I could sell that and give it into the projects. I can sell my car and donate that. Come on guys, £80. It's only £80 a month. It's only money. And it's not even you giving, it's a loan. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, who is he that will loan to Allah Ta'ala a beautiful loan? Who will give to Allah Ta'ala a beautiful loan? For Allah will increase it manifold to his credit, and he will have besides a liberal reward. You know, we feel like we're donating, we're giving this money away, but it's only a loan, because Allah Ta'ala is going to give this back with a lot more in return. Are there a few brave souls who are going to pledge me £1,000? Jazakallah, thank you very much. I know there's a lot of brothers who are a little bit, they want to keep the pledges private, which is, may Allah Ta'ala reward you. But if you have a few more pledges, inshallah, are there any more? £80 a month and change. And if you need any help raising that money, we're more than happy to help you as well. Okay, I'm going to knock this down to £500. Is anybody going to donate me £40 a month? £500, inshallah? Who's going to pledge me £40, inshallah? Jazakallah, thank you very much. Are there any, a couple more? Jazakallah, thank you very much. Can we get, we've had mashallah 2 pledges of 500, can we get 5 pledges of £500? 3 more souls. Which 3 souls, inshallah, are going to invest in the next world to pledge me £500? Jazakallah, thank you. A couple more, inshallah? Maybe one more? Which lucky soul is going to pledge in the next world? MashaAllah, Jazakallah. Thank you very much. You got a young lad pledging £500. May Allah reward you, inshallah. Alhamdulillah. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to knock it down to £200. Is there anybody going to pledge me £200, inshallah? It's £20, less than £20 a month. Who's going to pledge me £200? Anybody willing to invest in the next world? Go on, thank you very much. Jazakallah. Jazakallah, thank you. £200, guys. Jazakallah Nasiri. £200, another one, mashallah. Come on, guys, it's only, well, it's a suit, it's a cheap holiday. You can keep the pen, yeah, you get a free pen. I'll throw it in. Seems like you asked nicely. Who else is going to pledge £200? And I'll throw another free pen in as well. Few more pledges of £200, guys. Was that another, Nomi, was that 2 pledges of £200 or? Okay, I'll knock it down to £100. Now before I do that, I just want to play a quick video which is a quick promo video which I released. MashaAllah, it's a beautiful story. I worked on this video a few months ago, and Mike, the cameraman, may God bless you, Mike. He actually did this virtually for nothing. He spent a couple of days filming and editing this video. So credit to Mike. Thank you very much, Mike. If you can play the video. I pray to God I'll never have to do it again. Can there be anything much worse than putting only a blanket between a child and death? I hope you'll never have to do it and live with the memory of it afterward. If you heard their voices and seen their eyes on that freezing cold December day on the frost-covered hills full of tents made of torn scraps of plastic sheets in Jordan, yet all I had was a suitcase full of blankets we collected from England. As I struggled to open the suitcase, dozens of ragged kids held me in a vice of frantically clawing cold bodies. Scores of mothers with their babies in their arms pushed and fought to get within arm's reach. They held their babies out towards me, tiny hands of skin and bone stretched out, not knowing which baby was dead or alive due to sub-zero temperatures and starvation. In their frenzy, they nearly swept me off my feet, nothing but hundreds of hands, begging hands, clutching hands, despairing hands, all of them pitifully little hands. One pink blanket here, one blanket there, 6 blankets knocked from my suitcase, and a savage scramble of emaciated bodies at my feet. Another blanket here, another blanket there, hundreds of hands reaching and pleading, hundreds of eyes with the light of hope flickering out. I stood there helpless, an empty black suitcase in my hand. Yes, I hope it will never happen to you. Through years of aid work together, Purpose of Life has partnered with the Al-Aqsa Masjid, the cave of the 7 sleepers in Jordan, to build and run an educational centre costing £250,000 for hundreds of refugee children, giving them the opportunity to become self-sufficient and in turn help others.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, brothers and sisters. I am Al-Mu'tasim Billah, Imam Masjid Ashab al-Kafi, which mentioned in the Holy Quran. I am working with brother Sajid Hussein to provide of life. I hope I have a project to open the school, Islamic school near the cave to help the poor people, poor children from Syrian and Palestine and Jordanian people. I hope to support the project and put the zakat for this project, inshallah.
Brothers and sisters, Muslim or non-Muslim, we are all one big family in humanity. I urge you, log on to your online accounts now and donate at least £100 to this urgent cause. All we need is 2,500 people to donate £100 so we can start and complete this project. I am only one man. I need your support. So please share this video to all your contacts once you have donated. It will only take you a couple of minutes. Don't leave this to the next person. Take some responsibility, please. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, I and the one who looks after an orphan will be together like this in the next world. Now, if anybody wants these videos, please see me later and I'll just send me a text message. I'll give you my number and I'll fire off this video to yourselves. And like I said, all you have to do, guys, is just fire it off. All I'm asking you guys is to fire it off to your contacts, to your family and friends, and then leave it to Allah Ta'ala. As you know, I genuinely believe that will, inshallah, Allah Ta'ala guided me. I did my istikhara, Allah Ta'ala guided me to open my charity. And I genuinely believe that we'll achieve the money to start this project. And it's an amazing project with the Imam from the cave, from the blue line. Now the Imam will come in a few weeks' time, inshallah, and we will have a free event, and he can discuss the story about the cave of the 7 sleepers. It's a beautiful story, and his tilawat, as you heard the adhan, it's breathtaking. But I played this video because I realized that I don't have 2,500 friends, so we have pledges of £100, mashallah. I wanted to play this at the time of pledging, so if anybody can please raise your hands and pledge me at least £100. That's only £8 a month. And this will be a great investment for you in the next life as well, inshallah. And if you guys please send this video out, I'm sure you'll achieve a lot more. You'll be surprised. I surprise myself sometimes. Jazakallah. Now, I know we're a bit rushed for time, and I just want to say a special thank you to Moeen for coming. Moeen is playing a test match, against the West Indies, and he still made time in the evening, and which even I didn't expect him to do. So may Allah Ta'ala reward you, and thank you very much from the humble of my heart. We're going to have a short Q&A. If there's any questions, please keep it cricket related. Normally, I generally tend to write these on a piece of paper so we can control the questions, but because we're short of time, I'm trusting you guys. But if you have any questions for Moeen or Kabir we're going to have a couple of questions, and then we're going to serve the food, because Moeen mashallah, he's been playing all day and he's feeling pecky. And we want to obviously wrap it up as well. So if there's any questions, if anyone's brave enough to ask a question. No one?
When are we going to see you bowl the Dusra and Test cricket?
Assalamu alaikum. The Dusra is very difficult to bowl, especially with the straight arm. But I'm working with Saklain Mushtaq, I'm sure you guys know, and we will come to that at some stage. But at the moment, we're just trying to be consistent and just trying to bowl good balls as much as I can, and just repeat the same thing I'm doing. And inshallah, in Australia, when we go, we'll work on a few things. Probably not the Dusra. Now the scrutiny is very difficult. It's so high with bending the arm and stuff, and it's probably not suitable to bowl at the moment.
Any more questions, guys?
Did you find it a bit of an obstacle when you initially got into cricket, or did you always find your peers very welcoming with your parents?
Initially, I didn't have a beard. Only until 18, 19, I started to let my beard grow, and I was a little bit worried at the time, but also it's something I really wanted to do, and I felt like it was compulsory for me to do it, especially after seeing someone like Hashim Amla, who had a beard. But a lot of people do ask me, is it a problem being a Muslim with non-Muslims and things like that? But it's not. You'd be very surprised how they look after you, actually. When you do your salah or let your beard grow, they are very accommodating. They accept it, and after a while, they actually don't see the beard. They see you as a human being, and as long as you're consistent. One day you pray, and then the next day you don't pray. They will question you, and you got to have the answers as well. You got to learn about your deen as much as you can, and. But in terms of the beard, I tell them, it's obviously the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, and also it's just hair. You're just choosing not to shave anymore, and it's a very simple thing. But we, as Muslims, sometimes look at it as a very difficult thing to do. But it's very easy to shave and things like that. But for me, it was very easy to let the beard grow. I wasn't afraid of what they were going to say.
Who's the best player since you've played with? Best player you've played with?
Best player I've played with, at the moment, I would say Ben Stokes is one of the best cricketers I've played with. Not because of, his stats are not great, but they're not bad either. They're getting better. But ever since he got hit for those 4 sixes in the World Cup, he worked so hard in his game, and he's improved so much. And he's a fantastic player. Fielding, bowling, batting, he's an amazing player. And the best player I played against is Yunus Khan is up there. He's a very good player of spin. And I would say players like Kohli, Quinton de Kock, and these guys, they are outstanding players.
Assalamu alaikum. Me myself, I've been very lucky. I've played in teams with Flintoff, I've played against Sachin and quite a lot. But I'd say Graham Hick was up there, even though his test record might not be as good as what people say, but at the age of 42 when he retired, he was still by far the fittest in our squad. I think Moeen will kind of agree to that. And I mean, I've seen him take down teams and stuff. I've been very lucky to play against some great players, Lara, all these, but they're all brilliant. But I'd say the one I played with was Graham Hick by far. I mean, I've seen him destroy teams. I mean, some great bowlers. But people always remember him by his test, but I think he's very special.
In 2014, you were the response for Gaza. How supportive were the team?
Say that again, sorry.
In 2014, you was responsible for Gaza and Palestine. How supportive were the team?
They were actually very good. The ECB, the England Cricket Board, they backed me and supported me. At the time, I think the chairman, he used to go to Palestine. He lived in these countries and he could speak fluent Arabic, and so he was very supportive. And to be honest with you, I wore those wristbands just like I was in the shop and some guy was selling wristbands, shirts, and obviously for charity, and I just brought them, I put them on. I bought some for my brothers and stuff like that. And I just wore them in training, and then in the game I was wearing them and they got picked up. But for me, it was a humanitarian thing. It wasn't a political statement or anything like that. It was more obviously at the time, and still are suffering so much around the world, and especially in places like Syria and Gaza and stuff like that. So for me, it was very important, and we all watch the videos and we all watch all these things on TV. But and it affects us all. So I felt very strongly about it.
So your background in Azad Kashmir, your family's from Azad Kashmir. What are your thoughts on Indian occupied Kashmir? I mean, that's more closer to home.
Well, let's keep the questions cricket related, please. Let's not. What are your thoughts on? Next question, Harry.
A lot of people see young cricketers such as yourselves as role models, and of course, it's not something that you necessarily see. But how do you shoulder that burden of being role models to young children, especially Muslim children?
I think the most important thing, and I get asked this question obviously quite a lot, and as Muslims we should behave ourselves anyway, and there are times I've made mistakes, people make mistakes, and but as long as as Muslims, first of all, like I said, we behave ourselves, and it's very important that we do behave ourselves as cricketers and people, and the children look up to us. And I do want the children to look up to me and say, I want to be a player like this guy, and also look up, not because of my ego, but because of me being a Muslim person, and I want our children to look at us and say, it's fine to have a beard and do your salah and try to be the best you can as a Muslim and play cricket at the same time. And I know the brother spoke about the deen and the dunya, but for me, cricket was everything before, and I used to do everything for cricket. And then the day I sort of almost turned my back on cricket and I said, I just want to be a good county player now, is actually the day I started to get recognized a bit more, and in terms of my performances improved and everything, and it's almost secondary now, and it's not something I take so seriously. I do enjoy playing, and the lifestyle obviously is difficult, and because you're traveling so much and you're away from your family and things like that, but it is a career just like working in the office and all these kind of things, but it's a very good career. And if the children look up to me as a role model, then I know when I'm in front of them, and even when I'm not in front of them, I have to behave myself in a certain manner and be the best Muslim, first of all, I can be.
I think I'll go on Moeen. Mashallah, he's doing very well. He's an absolute star all over the world. But I'll say one thing, nothing's changed. I think we still go to the same hairdressers, same barbers, same masjid. Obviously, I haven't got much left, but still sometimes take the kids there. But nothing has changed. We grew up in Spark Hill. We still go Spark Hill. Even though when I was playing, it's quite bizarre because I was Cape Town, but everywhere in the world we went. We do miss home. We miss Spark Hill. I think the good thing is we still connect to our community, which is Spark Hill. We walk in. I've retired 4 years ago. 3 years, whatever, but my mum and dad still live there. I still got people respect me. I think if we had gone away from the area and forgot our roots, I think it would be very difficult. As you're going up, you go past people, and at some point you're going to come back down. And if you've been humble and been looking after people, on the way down, the same people respect you. I think, mashallah, credit goes to Moeen. He still comes, mashallah, he's played more cricket than anybody I know from that area, and especially from the Asian side. Mashallah is still very humble, mashallah, and nothing has changed apart from the fact that he can't walk on the street by himself or go shopping. Apart from that, mashallah, he's still as the young little Moeen that we know, and we can still ring him up anytime we want. And I think the credit goes to our parents. Our upbringing, mashallah, was very good, and we've been a very good role model. Especially Moeen's been brilliant for our community.
Just got 3 more questions. Ijaz, I'll give one to Ijaz because he's put his hand up for a while now. He's getting shy on me.
You touched on it towards the end of that last answer, but who have been the most influential people in your life?
Definitely parents and the sacrifice, and also coming on that subject, we haven't forgot where we've come from in terms of what we had before we played any sort of cricket, the sacrifice they went through. And I'll tell you a quick little story. There was a time where me, my older brother Kabir and Kabir were playing, and we had our dad are twins and our mums are sisters, so we're obviously very tight. And between the two families, we had petrol for the car, and we had £1 left, and we had 3 separate venues where the games were. And so we brought a loaf of bread and some tomatoes and a cucumber, and made little sandwiches for each of us. And so we know like those kind of routes, and you know, when it was tea time, we'd fill our plates, give them to our parents and things like that. And I know our dads take a lot of credit, but also our mothers, you know, they keep our whites clean. Never a day that we have dirty whites or dirty clothing to play with, and it's very difficult obviously for them as well. And so they massively even to this day, like if I'm struggling or whatever in terms of cricket, then I'll go to my dad and I'll speak to him about. He's a very good coach as well, mashallah, and he sacrificed everything, his job, everything for us to. And at the time, the family background was, you know, they were getting a lot of stick from our uncles or whoever else, you know, their friends about the time they're putting in. It's a waste of time and all this kind of stuff. But obviously, they saw that we were talented and we worked hard, and I would say definitely they're the biggest influences to this day in our lives.
Ocean? It's a two-part question. First of all, for both of you, obviously you guys have got to the top level of the game. Not everybody gets there. So for people who are trying to get there, what advice would you give to them? And second of all, can you touch on a little bit? Asian community with big fan of cricket and how kids are. What advice would you give to the parents? You know, there's going to be a part of something you can't or want to speak to this. So I guess the first part is what advice would you give to the people that are trying to get there? And what advice would you give to the parents, you know, to transport the kids?
I think we're going to need half an hour just for that question.
No, I think I won't just stick to cricket. I'll open it up quite big. I mean, no matter what you do in life, you have to work extremely hard. I mean, obviously when we were coming to the ranks and whatever, we knew. I mean, you go play cricket with, obviously, mashallah, we got brother Akram here who's done very well in rugby. I think it will be very similar kind of feel. But I mean, we used to go to net sessions, and people just think that generally what happens is you have a net session and you come back next Monday and you do. What happened when we used to play, we used to have a net session, then we used to have homework, shadow batting, shadow bowling, little bits and bobs like that. So the next session we were always ahead of the session. But what happens now, we get kids coming through the doors and we will teach them something, and next week we have to teach them the same thing again. So they're stuck in that same chapter throughout. I think no matter what you do in life, you have to work very hard. I mean, generally looking back at my career now, I've got quite a few ifs. Alhamdulillah, I played for England. I could have played a lot more. Now when I look at myself, I say, if I had done this, things might have been different. I mean, if you try and use if a little bit less in at my kind of stage, that'll mean you've done most things quite well. I mean, I've got quite a few ifs, but alhamdulillah, I still played 18 years of professional cricket, first class cricket. And as for parents, support your kids, be a good role model, no matter what they want to do. Don't shout to them, just support them as much as you can. I mean, I've got 2 boys, alhamdulillah. One's a little, Yusuf, he's no interest in cricket at this stage. But my youngest one, he loves it. He just runs as a dad, that gives me a bat. It does differently, but there's no pressure. I mean, no matter what they want to do in life, just support them. I mean, if you question them too much, they might lose interest. But back them as much as you can, regardless of what profession, what sport, anything. Just make sure you support and be good role models for the kids.
I would say that the parents are the biggest, especially the father is the biggest influence, because if you already think that not everybody's going to make it, but if you already have put it in your son's head that there's a chance you might not make it, then that certain percentage of that will be in his head and he'll have some sort of doubt. With our parents, they already told us that we were going to make it, in terms of as long as we work hard, and almost brainwashed us to think that we were going to. And by the time I was 12, 13, the only thing I wanted to do was play cricket as a professional, and I'm sure Kabir was the same. And the parents are the biggest. The issue today, I would say, is the parents don't support. They just drop their sons off and go, and then pick them up after 2 hours, but they don't take that same interest. And it's, I guess, in everything, if you're learning hifz or whatever, you have to take, as a parent, you have to take interest and ask what you learned today, what you done, and you learn as well as a parent as much as you can. And the advice for the son would be to definitely work. You can't replace hard work in anything. And my dad said to me at 13, give me 2 years of your life every day after school, and we're going to play cricket, we're going to train either in a park, sports hall, wherever it is. And after that, you can do what you want. And already, see, those 2 years, he was training me to train every day, mentally and physically. And I was so used to training every day that after those 2 years, I was ahead of everybody in my age group. Under 15, I was playing at England under 19s and things like that. So it is a lot of sacrifice, and the parents are just as important as the child.
Just going back onto that kind of for parents, I'll give a good example. This winter I was working with a couple of youngsters, now that I coach quite a lot. I was doing 2-hour sessions with a number, and this dad used to drop his kid off, and then, how'd you get on? And after 6-7 weeks, he said, how's he getting on? And I had to say that, I said, you should come and show some interest. I mean, I could tell you anything. You need to see the improvements every week, and I felt like that kid was very disheartened, because every other parent was there, the mums were there, the dads watching their kids, and this kid was by himself, and he had to wait for his dad half an hour, 40 minutes at the end, and it must be quite disheartening for the kid as well if your parents are not watching or what. I mean, I could have said anything. I said, Alhamdulillah, he's doing well, but I think you should come and have a look how much he's improved over the course of 6 weeks. I think parent sport's very important.
I've got one question for you, Cabs. How was your experience in Masjid Al-Aqsa? Well, the 3 Haram Sharifs, but in particular Masjid Al-Aqsa. I'm allowed. It's not political as well.
Alhamdulillah, I've travelled quite a bit. I played 17, 18 years of the game, and I've seen some amazing places. I've been in Cape Town, South Africa, but I mean, these 3 places were absolutely stunning. I mean, obviously Makkah, Medina was completely different, but Masjid Al-Aqsa has something very special. I mean, we used to go down the hill into past the walls and past the guards, and as you're walking down, you actually realise that, mashallah, the same streets, the old buildings, and you actually think, when this X amount of years back, this is how the prophets would have gone through, these are the streets they would have walked through, and mashallah, the most amazing part was in the morning when the sun rises, when the sun hits the dome, it is an incredible feeling. And I think Saj was there, Qasim was there, and Zubair was there, and our normal conversation was, it was December and it was freezing cold. I remember having 2 bottoms on, quite a few layers underneath, and we were like, when we put our ihram on, it's going to be freezing, because you got 1 sheet on the bottom, 1 sheet, and how are we going to get through? But no word, I'm not even making this up. We made our niyat and stuff in Masjid Al-Aqsa, and obviously Saj, I was learning as I was going, and Saj and Qasim and Zubair guided me through, and I swear we did not feel the cold at all. We walked through the streets to the hotel, we got on the coach, we stayed a night in Jordan next day. 24 hours we were travelling in Ihram in December, and it was freezing cold, and as soon as we put the Ihram on, it was no cold. I mean, it was an amazing experience, and I can't say, I mean, I always wanted to go, but obviously I met Saj through Shahid Afridi's charity, then Boss. So I think it's obviously we've built a nice relationship since then. I think the most amazing thing I've done is put my ihram from Masjid Al-Aqsa, travel to Makkah, and it was very special. And I would love to do it again, inshallah, in the near future, and take my family.
Right, guys, I think we're done with the Q&A. The tables have been set. We're gonna be serving food now. So if you guys wanna jump on the tables, every donation that I've received, every £100, I'm gonna give you guys a raffle ticket. I did forget this, but I'm gonna keep my word. So if there's any people that wanna make a private donation, please let me know, because after food, we're gonna pick a raffle number, and one lucky winner, one fortunate winner is gonna win a free package to Masjid Al-Aqsa. So there's not many donations today, but so you've all got a very good chance. So if there's anybody that wants to make a donation, every £100 will get a free raffle number. So it's not gambling, because we're giving this fi sabilillah. So if you, for example, if you've donated £2,500, you'll get 25. If you've donated £500, you'll get 5 raffle numbers. And you see that cricket helmet, that sweaty one, that's my helmet. I'm going to put all the raffle tickets in there, and either Moeen or Kabir is going to pick one, and one lucky winner is going to win a free package. Because this is what we want to do as a charity. We want to encourage people to go, and what better way than giving one away for your generosity. Jazakallah. Now, Moeen and Kabir will be eating. Please just give them a bit of respect, let them enjoy their food in peace. If you've got time at the end, we're going to have a small auction, and then if you've got time, we'll be able to take some pictures. But please let Kabir and Moeen eat, because Moeen has been playing cricket all day today. Jazakallah.